Hello, I'm the host of Essential Book Drop. Tonight, we're doing something different. We're going to explore the phenomenon of the instant best-selling book. The book and the author who comes out of nowhere. As always, I'm joined by my expert guide. Good evening.
I'm good. Ready to jump in. Take that leap of faith.
Absolutely ready. Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive. We're challenging, well, probably the most persistent myth in publishing, really. The overnight success.
It's the easy story, isn't it? That neat narrative, someone got lucky, a book blew up, end of story.
Yeah, simple.
But our mission today, looking at the source material, is to really uncover what's actually going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, what groundwork, often years of it, has to be laid before a book hits that kind of juggernaut status.
Because that narrative, the one we often hear, the bolt from the blue, it's just, well, it's profoundly misleading. We want to understand why people jump to skepticism, really. Why assume luck over actual hard work?
Precisely. And I think the best way to start unpacking this is with a huge modern example, one that really did feel like it came from left field, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens.
Oh, definitely. That book, it defines sustained juggernaut, doesn't it? Came out in 2018, was top of the New York Times list for ages.
Months and months.
Yeah, and sold, over 12 million copies globally. It's genuinely one of the best-selling adult books ever, of all time.
And here's why it felt so out of nowhere, which the sources really hit on. Delia Owens was an elderly debut novelist.
Right?
She had basically zero existing literary platform. Wasn't, part of that MFA scene, not known in publishing circles.
Well, no, her background was completely different. Wildlife scientist,
Yeah.
Right. Co-authoring nonfiction about conservation in Africa.
Exactly. So not the typical path to a chart-topping novel.
So yeah, on the surface, it absolutely looks like pure, almost unbelievable luck. A first-time novelist, older than most debuts, becomes this global sensation. But if it wasn't some giant pre-planned marketing push, what actually fueled it?
Well, the sources point to two key things. First, genuine word of mouth, which is frankly incredibly hard to sustain at that level.
Super rare.
And second, the really crucial boost from Reese Witherspoon's book club. That selection was like hitting the launch button. It put the book instantly in front of this massive built-in audience.
Okay, so that's where it gets interesting, right? The debate starts. Was the success because the writing itself, done in isolation, was just that strong? Or was it mostly the platform Reese's stamp of approval?
Well, that's the core question, I think, because the public reaction to that kind of sudden, massive hit often triggers what the source material labels instant bestseller syndrome.
Okay, let's dig into that. What does that syndrome actually look like?
It's that sort of reflexive, maybe even cynical assumption. If a book gets huge really fast, it can't possibly be genuinely good, or it won't last.
Right, it's dismissed. Just a fad.
Exactly. And we see this condescension all the time, don't we? Especially now.
Oh, absolutely. Look at how people react currently. You see folks sneering at authors who blow up on, say, Book Talk. Or dismissing self-published writers who hit the bestseller lists as not real writers, like they just gamed the system or something.
The immediate, almost knee-jerk reaction is skepticism. They got lucky, or they cheated somehow.
Yeah.
And why is that the default? Maybe because acknowledging the sheer grind, the years of often unglamorous work needed to create something good enough to even get that lucky break, well, that takes more effort to think about. It's easier to just shout, "Luck!"
So we need to shift focus away from the public perception, the illusion, towards the hidden reality. The real question becomes, what groundwork was laid? What made the book strong enough to even handle that level of success and scrutiny? Because like we said, there really isn't any overnight success.
That writer's grind.
Yeah.
That's the secret ingredient. And we can see this pattern again and again, even with authors we think we know really well.
Okay, good point. Let's take J.K. Rowling. The public story often jumps straight to the bidding war for Harry Potter.
Right, the exciting bit.
But the real story includes those years of quiet dedication, serious financial hardship, writing in Edinburgh cafes, living on welfare as a single mom. That's the hidden part.
And it wasn't instant reward even then. The key detail, the one that always gets me, is she was rejected by 12 publishers.
12?
12 times that instant success could have happened, but didn't. Her breakthrough wasn't some miracle. It was attempt number 13 finally working after 12 others said no. That proves it wasn't just luck from the start.
That's just incredible persistence.
Yeah.
And then there's someone like Toni Morrison. Her success definitely wasn't a sudden gift either. The sources call her rise the inevitable consequence of a brutal, years-long discipline.
Yeah, think about the sheer physical and mental effort. Writing her first novel required waking up at 4 a.m. every day,
Wow.
balancing that intense creative work with a full-time job at Random House, no less, and raising 2 kids on her own. For years.
Yeah.
Completely invisible work.
That really reframes what a breakout means, doesn't it? The fame might feel instantaneous, but the effort behind it is anything but. The celebrity moment is just when the dam finally breaks after all that pressure.
And connecting that back,
Mm-hmm.
the groundwork laid, the quality built over time. That's what decides if the success is just a flash in the pan or something sustained, like a Crawdads or a Harry Potter.
That's a great point. Let's look at a more recent example that felt instant. Andy Weir and The Martian. That trajectory looked like winning the lottery, didn't it? Self-published blog post, a Hollywood blockbuster.
Totally. Felt like it came out of nowhere. But again, if you dig into his story, it wasn't just luck. That instant visibility came after 20 years of trying and failing as a writer.
20 years.
And crucially, he meticulously user-tested the really complex science in the story on his own website. He put chapters up for free, got feedback from science geeks, refined it.
Ah, so he was iterating based on reader input.
Exactly. Giving it away until his audience literally told him, you need to charge for this.
So the book was basically market tested, technically vetted, and audience approved before any publisher even saw it. That's intense, unpaid labor.
Precisely. The product was mature and proven. Okay, so let's bring this pattern right into today. Because even with social media speeding everything up, this theme of long effort, it absolutely persists.
Yeah, the discovery mechanism might change. Maybe it's TikTok now instead of a bookstore browse, but the time spent honing the craft, that seems constant.
Absolutely. Look at Colleen Hoover. Probably the biggest book talk phenomenon, right?
Oh.
Seems like a definition of a modern viral success. But she self-published her first novel way back in 2012. Her instant fame really took off around 2020 with Book Talk.
Yeah.
That's 8 years of consistently putting out books, building a readership piece by piece, completely outside the traditional system before that viral explosion.
8 years is definitely not overnight, and you see that endurance everywhere. Taylor Jenkins Reid, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, was a massive hit in 2017.
Huge. Still selling like crazy.
But that was her 5th book. It took her nearly a decade of writing, publishing books that got, modest attention before that one really broke through.
5 books. Think about that. 4 other complete novels, finding small audiences, maybe failing to find bigger ones, but all serving as the training ground for number 5 to really take off.
It's staggering, and the current fantasy romance boom shows the same thing. Rebecca Yarros' Fourth Wing dominated 2023, seemed totally sudden.
Like it just landed from space.
But she'd been publishing romance novels since 2014. That's 9 years and something like 20 books before Fourth Wing became the breakout.
20 books of prior work.
Yeah.
So when authors like, say, Alex Astor get criticized because her book talk following made Lightlark's success seem unearned.
Right. People assume it was just the platform.
The critics are missing the point. The sources highlight she wrote 9 unpublished novels before Lightlark ever got published. 9 full books written in obscurity, serving as her apprenticeship.
That's the real core of this, isn't it? The sheer unseen endurance required. And I think the last example we have here really drives home the emotional cost of that silent work.
You mean Lloyd Devereaux Richards and Stone Maidens?
Exactly. His book became a bestseller in 2021 only after his daughter made that viral TikTok video celebrating him.
The success was instant post-TikTok, yeah.
But the dedication before that, the author was 72 years old when that happened, and he had spent 14 years writing that single book while working a full-time job as an engineer.
14 years on one book, starting around age 58, showing up day after day, night after night, for over a decade, with absolutely zero guarantee anyone would ever read it.
That right there is the true definition of a breakthrough. It's that moment when all that stored up strength, built over maybe decades of quiet effort, failure, and discipline, finally gets enough momentum to launch.
So, okay, what's the takeaway for you, the listener? Why should you care about this hidden grind, this monumental effort?
Well, I think we need to really shift our perspective. We have to stop defaulting to assumptions about luck or connections being the main drivers. Because, as the source material puts it, that skepticism fundamentally misunderstands how success works. And that misunderstanding is poisonous to anyone trying to create anything.
Yeah, it's poisonous because if you truly believe success only comes from a lucky break or knowing the right people, you'll likely quit during those inevitable, difficult, quiet years.
You won't put in the necessary work.
Exactly. You won't build the skill, the resilience, the quality that actually attracts attention, whether it's from a publisher or an audience or even a celebrity book club.
And the real reward, the actual payoff for all that unseen labor, it's usually not the fame or the money, at least not at first. It's that smaller, maybe more profound moment when just one person, a reader, maybe a friend, genuinely says, hey, I really liked what you wrote.
That validation, that single connection, that's the proof
Mm.
that the lonely work, the craft you honed in, total obscurity, rewriting that paragraph at 2 a.m. for the 15th time was strong enough.
Yeah.
It worked. It connected. The silent effort was real.
So maybe the next time you see a sudden success, whether it's a book or anything really exploding onto the scene, just pause for a second and ask yourself this. What years of unseen work am I potentially erasing with my own skepticism? Because the truth really seems to be there's no overnight success, just people who kept going when no one was watching.
It was a pleasure, as always.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Until next time, remember, whenever you write note,
Your mind becomes its own kingdom.